When you need spanner bits, which isn't that often in my case, but when you need them, nothing else will do the trick. It's hard to MacGyver my way to loosening a spanner bit or a spanner screw. So here's what I like about this little set. I like the longer 2.5 or 2.3 inch size, almost 2.5. And I really like it that there's about an inch on the narrow end of these little ones, which allows me to get into the places these annoying spanner screws are usually found, such as narrow holes in the device I'm working on. You know, you can see that the bigger bits have less tapering, of course, but then if the screw head is that big, then the hole it's in is going to be bigger, so you should be able to get down inside with these. The shank is the standard size I would expect. For example, here's a handle, a ratcheting handle I usually use, and it just pops right in and stays secure. So it'll also obviously work in a drill, which is adjustable, but I don't really use these with a drill that I can recall. It's usually something a little more precise, and you wouldn't want to use a drill on that. I think it was really smart to include 2 of each of the 5 sizes, since things do break and get lost. The plastic case is nice. It snaps shut, fairly sturdy, has the hanging thing on it if you use a pegboard. That's convenient. The funny thing is, all the bits fit in here, but one of them has to turn the other way in order to actually fit in the case. That's fine. Doesn't really bother me, but if you are OCD, it will bother you. I like it that the bits are labeled in white. For example, there's a 8. That's nice, but if this label ever wears off, it's just going to be trial and error from then on, since it's not like the numbers are etched into the shank. But you know, it's not like I'm going to be using these so often that that's very likely to happen, and frankly, I don't. It's not like I can just look at a screw and know what size it is anyway, so usually it is trial and error already. They are magnetic. I tested them a little bit, and it's kind of seems like the smaller they get, the weaker they get, which makes sense. These tiny little ones, the number 4s, you know, the screw that's going to be picking up is very small, probably has enough power, but I didn't have any spanner type heads on any screws that I could find at the moment, so it's hard to test. But I did test it on some larger screws, and the bigger ones will pick up a larger screw easier. And of course, they would be unscrewing a larger screw, so that does make sense. It's a nice little set, reasonably priced at $12, and it's going to be handy to have around when I'm suddenly facing the dreaded spanner screw in a device I'm working on. Now I just have to keep track of where I store these bits so I can find them. And it's a good thing they have a case.